quick video on the BORYOZA Fujifilm X-Mount to Nikon Z, Nikon Z adapter. Look how sweet this is. Fujifilm X-Mount third-party Viltrox lens, adapter, Nikon ZF. Who needs an X-T5 when you got one of these? You know, you're balancing no joystick versus full frame sensor, or APS-C sensor. In a lot of ways, the ZF might be the best X-Mount camera with this adapter on it. So how well does it work? Very well. I would say that this adapter works about as well as the Megadap ETZ21 adapter does with Sony lenses. So if you've got a bunch of Fuji lenses and you wanted to sort of like level up into the full frame world of Nikon Z cameras, you can totally do it with this adapter. It comes in a really nice plastic box. It's got the charging hub so you can update it. And the fit on the camera is super solid. Of course, these are APS-C lenses, so depending on the lens, if it's not that wide of a lens, like you can see on this 56mm, there's a little bit of vignetting on the sides. But you could easily crop this in or shoot in APS-C mode, and it would still work great. Would also work great on the ZF-C, for example. So if you have Fuji lens, it's another way to sort of get into the Nikon Z system or like dip your toe in without going whole hog. You don't need to buy a whole bunch of lenses. You spend $200-300, you get the adapter, and all your lenses will work. In my testing, the 18mm here fully covered the full frame sensor. It's about 35mm where you start to see some vignette. So on some of the weirder lenses, like this 8mm, you do see quite a bit of vignetting, as you can see on the sides there. Got a 23mm f1.4. There's a little bit of vignetting, but not too bad. On the 27mm pancake, you start to see quite a bit of vignetting on the sides here. But like on this Zeiss 2-it, maybe the best lens for the X-Mount system, just a tiny little bit of vignetting, like really not bad, easily cropped out, might even add some character to your shots. I tested all these different lenses. You can see there's a little bit of vignetting, but not that much. Even with the tighter, focal lengths, it's still very usable. And you can totally just crop into APS-C mode and it'll work fine. Let me pick that up. And all the autofocus functions of the Nikon ZF cameras, eye detect autofocus, both in photo and video, work just great, almost like these were native lenses. So, in a nutshell, if you got a bunch of Fuji X-Mount lenses like I do, and you've also got a Nikon camera, or you kind of wanted to inch into the Nikon system, I highly recommend the BORYOZA adapter. It's worth the money. It's basically the same thing as the Megadap ETZ21 adapter that is made for Sony lenses, but for Fuji X-Mount APS-C lenses. So, have you tried the BORYOZA adapter? Have you ever heard of BORYOZA before? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!